Hi friends, and welcome to this week's DFU. Today we are continuing with the 11th class in our Final Fantasy VII semester. If you have not watched the previous 10 episodes of this semester, get out, go complete your prereqs, and then come back and enjoy this class. If you have watched those videos, then you should know that I am your host and fellow student Kelsey, and teaching us today is Avalanche member Chris. And Chris, I think you're about to bring some romance to the screen with Cloud's date, am I correct?
That is right. That is right. Man, it's crazy to think we're 11 episodes in. Ugh, this is great.
And I want to say I'm actually surprised. I thought, by the way you talked about it, I honestly thought the date happened like basically as an after the credits scene at the very end. I didn't think it was something that you like did in game, especially this early in the game. So I'm really surprised by this.
Yeah. I mean, we're kind of flying through certain parts. There's a lot of stuff that you're going to go through in the game, like the Mithril Mines, for instance, where there's not a lot of shit going on. So we're kind of blowing past that to where, like, normally in the game, it's going to take you a little while to get through everything because all the random encounters and shit like that going on. So we are getting a little bit faster into it, just talking wise. But yeah, it does happen pretty early. I mean, normally something that's like supposed to take like an emotional impact on two characters you would think would be a little bit more towards the later end of the game, if not the middle part of the game. But yeah, we haven't even hit the end of disc 1 yet, and we're getting the date scene. So
is there only one date scene?
No.
Ooh.
I'll say no, and I will say this: the second date scene, you don't get an option. It is kind of with Tifa, and it's not necessarily really a date scene, but it's because I mean, you kind of already know like shit's going down, so it's a more of like a, oh my god, shit's kind of getting real, like let's just take like a second to ourselves and just kind of figure out us for a second type deal. So but we'll get into that a lot later on. That one is like literally like before the final fucking fight of the game, so that we got a ways to go before we get there. A ways to go, but not really. I don't know. We're cranking through some of this, and we're about to hit a lot of things where like you're literally there just for like seconds to do something, and then you're gone. So like a lot of that stuff that doesn't really have like a story impact, I'm like, all right, cool, and then we stopped here, and then we moved on to here. Like I'm not gonna be like, cool, you fucking sit here for a couple minutes. Da 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 da. I'll give like a couple tips for the viewers at home playing along. But which, by the way, I didn't think about that till today. I was at work and I was thinking about doing the DFU tonight. And I was like, you know what really fucking was an asshole thing of me to do? I mean, once again, the game's 23 years old. But it's like, we talked about the fact that you got spoiled about Aerith's death. I didn't think about the people who are at home playing along who maybe have not seen that yet.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh shit. We assumed everybody but me already knows everything about this.
Correct. So,
and that may not be true.
So I want to say, if I spoiled it for you, 1, I'm sorry. 2, I'm not really that sorry because it is like 23 years old. But
I'm still sorry.
Yeah, it happened. Cool. We'll move on, and I'll keep that in mind for future. Moving forward. But watch at your own risk. That's all I'm gonna say.
Apparently, gosh,
stuff kind of slips the tongue sometimes.
Given how mad I wasn't actually mad, but how disappointed I was that got spoiled for me. I'm amazed neither one of us thought of it.
Neither one of us thought about it, and was like, maybe we should talk about this. Or you know what, Chris? Maybe you should edit that out. Well, no, none of that happened. None of that happened.
The video's been posted. It's too late.
Oh man.
Whoops.
Oh, well.
Sorry.
What are you gonna do? Anyways, so into the story. We left off with going back to the hotel room, but before then, our tram was out of commission. We weren't able to leave the gold saucer, which is a weird thing to think about. And the fact that the gold saucer, it's like you can't leave, but they don't comp you a room. It's kind of like a fucked up policy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It's like, yeah, you can just stay here and just continue to spend money. We're not going to fucking comp your room, though, so.
That would not fly.
No, not at all. Absolutely not. If I was Cloud, I'd be pulling out that busted sword and be like, look, all right, we about to work out something here. See the size of this thing?
Yep.
Anyways, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the date scene, and luckily for the viewers at home who didn't get Tifa, or whatever. And luckily for Kelsey, I spent some time before jumping on a record to not only play, get through the date scene, record the date scene, and get it uploaded. So if you are subscribed to my personal channel and you wonder why I uploaded Tifa's date scene, now you know. And if you are still subscribed to my channel and wonder why the video disappeared, it's because it was only meant for this purpose. So, yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into that. I do like this. How she like pushes him out.
Like he's like, hey.
And those of you who don't remember, we are at the Gold Saucer.
You'll play the lead. Ah.
Cloud's like, what? Cloud's like, fuck it. Now, it's funny with the play is that you can completely fuck the play up if you want to, or you can play along with it and do it right. Obviously, Tifa's Bay, so I played along. But you can totally fuck it up, try to kill the king instead of doing the other shit. It's funny.
Alfred.
Cloud's just like, nope.
I love all of these characters.
Right.
And how they move.
Right.
Just spin onto stage.
Spin right on the stage.
I am a lowly knight.
Watch Tifa. This is so great. I love Tifa so much. How was that? Oh, gosh.
I already know your name. Cute.
To home, where you just leave. Now look.
Oh my gosh.
Wait. She actually gets, look at that. Wow. I mean, Alfred. Yeah, right? Such a sweet moment.
Love has triumphed. And they just everybody spins off stage. I wasn't expecting that.
Except for the poor knight.
Who's dead? Yeah.
Someone help.
Someone help.
So there's the play.
Wait, isn't the gondola broken? Isn't that why we can't leave?
No, that was the tram.
Ah, sorry.
Two different. Gondola just goes around the Gold Saucer. Tram takes you to and from.
Got it.
And this is it. The legendary date scene right here.
Oh boy. Really? He's just sitting there?
You actually get to control his head, so I did that just to piss you off.
I hate you.
I knew you'd say something about it. Like, you could choose not to look out the window at all, and it kind of actually upsets them. But I did do that, though, so that way you could see the sights. But every time he tilts his head back, that's me doing that.
It's this beautiful girl sitting there, and you're just like, meh.
I mean, but look at these sights, though. Like, for the game's age, this is pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah.
Chocobos running around.
Cute. They each had different colors. I noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
I know that matters.
Just like in, well, it's just like in the racing, too. All of them are different colors, too. Like how big the golden saucer is. Like, I would never be on that thing. You couldn't pay me enough money to get on that fucking ride. What a place for a fucking date, though. Going from the water tower to here.
I mean, yeah, let's be real. That would be really cool. If the fireworks were far enough away that I was confident I wasn't going to get hit with one. Cloud, you're not that stupid. Is that... Oh, good, okay. Say it. Oh, for the love of God. Wonderful.
Yep. Gotta keep that going a little bit more. She's not ready. She's not ready.
I mean, with most relationships in video games where they rush them too fast, I'm always like, you have not known each other long enough for this kind of nonsense. These guys have been friends and kind of into each other since they were kids.
The Keystone. Well, Kelsey, we found our spy. It was
What?
Kate Sith. Yep.
No!
There's Shinra. And he gave him the keystone to enter the Temple of the Ancients. I was going to pause it and make you guess who it was, but I completely forgot that I had this in here. So, yeah. But they're about to get into it, so. Yep, it was Kate Sith.
No! But, I thought we liked him.
We do. He's one of my favorite people on the team.
But...
Now, read what he's saying, though. His body's just a toy.
Real body,
This
yeah.
is a toy cat. So there's a lot of stuff that I couldn't tell you before that we can now talk about afterwards.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Mm-hmm.
I did not see that coming.
Right?
Yes, I am a Shinra employee. We're not entirely enemies. Ah, Cloud is slowly
Rubbing on.
convincing him. Well, Tifa's suspicion game is on point. What? No! What?
Mm-hmm.
What? But you still did it. Oh my god.
Yep. I
I
really wanted to stop it, and I completely forgot about it. So it sucks because it wouldn't let me pause because it was a max screen. If I would have brought it down, it would have made everything all look weird for the fucking recording. So unfortunately, I didn't get to do that. But now knowing that it's Kate Sith, if you had to take a guess, obviously Yuffie isn't part of it. Who do you think would have possibly been the spy? Who was at the top of your list before this episode?
um
Yuffie aside, because we did not have her yet, and Sid aside too.
I was gonna say because we were
Yep. So
they were onto
Sid,
us
yep,
before then.
yep. Technically, they were onto us before Vincent as well.
Yeah.
So it was right after we got Kate Sith. So it was Kate Sith, Barrett, Nanaki, Tifa, Cloud, Aerith. Who was somewhat at the top of your list?
Um.
It's hard because you didn't think it was anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really didn't. Like, I didn't put a ton of effort into thinking about who it could possibly have been.
Well, with that core cast right there, it's so hard to look at any of them because none of them feel like they have a motive. Besides, obviously,
Yeah.
Kate Sith, really. But
Like, I was almost gonna like feel forced to say like Tifa, honestly, but at the same time, like we have that incredibly dramatic scene where she screams about how much she hates Shinra and Sephiroth and all that kind of good stuff. So there's no way it could be her. But same with Barrett and like
Aerith
I guess
and everybody.
yeah, and Nanaki's like a little bit closer, but he hates Hojo so much. I mean, maybe Nanaki would have been my vote if I'd thought about it, but like no,
The only
I don't
people
think
who
that.
have ties to Shinra is Nanaki and Cloud. Because Cloud
Yeah.
used to be part of Shinra.
I mean, I think I would have believed if they'd been like, oh yeah, Shinra, like Sephiroth has some kind of freaky, like Shinra has some way of like understanding where you are because you have some of those cells in your body, so
Genova
they can
cells, yeah.
track you. Like, I would believe that like faster than I would believe that it was Kate Sith, but
So
I guess I didn't know that much about him anyway, so fine.
So now that we've gotten Kate Sith, actual background. Unfortunately, the cat is a toy. So let me start with this. Growing up as a kid, I didn't want to accept this as the truth, so I just went on playing as Kate Sith was this cat and Mog was real. That was like my way of growing up with this character. So I love the character style so much of this little kitty cat riding this Mog that's why he's so high up on my list. The person who actually controls Kate Sith, I really don't give two shits about. I really don't. He's not. He's. It's hard to say he's not a bad guy because he works for Shinra, but he's not like president level. So you have seen this guy. I won't say who it is because he does announce who he is in a little bit. You have seen this character on screen. And if you would have been thinking with the fact that Kate Sith was a robot from the start that was being controlled by somebody from Shinra, if I would have told you that from the start, you probably would have guessed who this person is just by how they reacted in certain scenes. With hearing certain things.
Okay.
For instance, he was the person that kind of, once again, I won't say his name, but I'm completely fine with dropping hints, and if you end up guessing it, great. I doubt it.
Hojo?
No, it's not Hojo.
Okay.
But he was the person who he threw his hands up in the air and was upset whenever they were going to drop the Sector 7 plate on top of the slumps and was extremely upset about it. That specifically played on that a little bit.
Yes, you pulled that one out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Yep, for a reason, and that was the reason. So,
got it. Hang on. I don't know if I've got that in my notes somewhere, but I don't know that I can find it that fast.
That's fine. I can easily fluff while you search. So, he does have Marlene. That was not a ploy at all. Or a trick. No. He does officially have Marlene. One of the things that always stuck out to me the most was how he was just so big on the whole like. So tomorrow is the temple of the. Yep, you guessed it. Reeve. Yep. So Reeves, actually, I think his name actually does end in an S. Reeves is controlling Kate Sith. So now you know who it is. I can kind of talk a little bit more about him. Kate Sith is easily... I actually have like a lot of different Final Fantasy channels that I'm kind of subscribed to, and I watch their shit all the time. Multiple of these channels have made videos on Kate Sith because he's that much of a complex character that people still don't understand how he works. Mm-hmm. So Reeves has never been part of Soldier. He has no Mako energy. He has no materia. but he's able to control Kate Sith with his mind.
Huh.
That in itself suggests that there are magical powers in the world of Final Fantasy VII outside of materia. And from what we've seen, he said it himself, his body is back at HQ, which he's not lying. There doesn't seem to be a frequency limit on how far he needs to be away from Kate Sith in order for this to work.
Holy crap.
And to be able to fight and listen to conversations and accurately put all that back and once again fight and shit like that, it's pretty goddamn impressive skill. It's pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah. So Reeves is our guy. He is the controller of Kate Sith. Kate Sith is a little character he made. So, and then once again, but here's the even weirder part. He created Kate Sith as a robot that he controls with his mind. Kate Sith created Mog and brought him to life. So they made, and that's how it specifically says it in the handbook, which is weird. So it's saying that Kate Sith on his own accord, not Reeves controlling Kate Sith on his own accord created Mog and brought it to life. Kate Sith rides on the back of a huge stuffed Mog he magically brought to life himself. Megaphone in hand, he is always shouting orders and creating deploy attacks. Or dopey attacks, wow. When his slot machine attack works, the enemy lines up, looks, overturn toy box, da 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 da. His hobby is fortune telling, but he likes personality. It's pretty, but he likes his personality. It's pretty unreliable.
Honestly, it sounds like Reeves may accidentally have been made into the most magical person in this universe.
Right.
To create something that can then create life.
Right.
Like, holy shit.
Exactly. But like, one day, whenever it's just like me and you chilling or something, we'll have to like just listen. I'll have to have you listen to one of those videos I'm talking about. There's this guy called 4-8 Productions. Really, really great YouTube channel. I guess this is a tad bit of a little bit of a shout out here. Guy's been doing Final Fantasy shit forever. I don't agree with everything he says, but he's very knowledgeable. A lot of these like heavy bosses and stuff like that. This guy has dedicated his life to figuring out like every different kind of materia combination out there, which I have never done and don't have the patience to do, even though I love this game that much. He created one of the most in-depth, I think it's literally a 30-minute episode where he's just trying to dive as deep. And I mean, he went into the Ultimanias, which are only Japanese, and doing translations for Kate Sith and all kinds of shit, and like it's nuts. Like, he is the most complex character in the game. Vincent is the most mysterious because we didn't have information. Kate Sith, we got information, it just didn't make sense. It wasn't explained enough for us to be like, what? So, and even at the end of that video, he leaves going, so we still don't even really know what the fuck Kate Sith is. So yeah. Which is pretty cool because even outside of this game, we still see Kate Sith. I don't think we see Reeve in the movie. We definitely see Reeve in Crisis Core a little bit, I think. I might be wrong on that, but I know for sure we see him in Vincent's game, Dirge. And we definitely see Kate Sith in Dirge. And something else to point out, this is not the first Kate Sith model either. I think this is Kate Sith model number 3. I could be wrong about that one. I know it's not the first one. That one I know for a fact. I can't remember what number it is, but I want to say this one was 3. Yeah. Interesting shit.
Not only is this interesting shit, this like hardcore took a left turn when I was not expecting it. Some of these other ones, I've expected that a left turn was going to be made. Like, we took Nanaki home. I anticipated, okay, something about Nanaki's backstory is gonna come up. Oh, we're wandering into where Barrett Wallace is from. Something about Barrett Wallace is gonna come up. And I get that Kate Sith is originally like his backstory that we learned originally is he's from the Golden Saucer, so maybe I should have been expecting it.
Right.
But at least from my experience of talking to you, so much about this Golden Saucer experience hasn't been like Kate Sith reacting to stuff and people reacting to him that would lead me to believe this kind of thing was going to occur. It was more, we're handling the other crap that's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't see that coming at all.
Right. So I think this is the first time you've really gotten a chance to actually see like some gameplay stuff, as far as like in a video actually watching gameplay, because most stuff you've watched at this point have been cutscenes. If it was gameplay, it was like animated gameplay. So given a chance to actually see some like actual gameplay, now you can kind of see like a lot of these fans are like so hyped for this remake due to the fact that having voice actors just adds that level.
Yeah.
Because it was great to see like Tifa and Cloud having like this whole, experience, but being able to actually hear their voices doing that, I can't wait to see the date scene for the remake. That's going to be fucking phenomenal.
Going to be great.
That's going to be great. Being able to look out of the fucking whatever and see fucking Gold Saucer and shit like that. Like, I am super fucking pumped for that. So.
That's going to be really cool.
So, overall, what'd you think about the date scene? Well, did it live up to your hype?
What was that?
I said, did it live up to the hype?
Well, given that I'm disappointed by it, but spent the whole thing on the edge of my seat, I guess, technically.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Speak your feelings, people. Just speak your feelings. Worst case scenario, they say, no! And you go, okay! And you run off.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, once again, like I said, it's a little bit, for sure the dialogue is different with every character, which is a really cool thing that they did. So, the dialogue is 100% different with every character. And like I said,
what happens with Barrett?
It's, like I said, they're both kind of like just sitting the way Cloud was sitting on opposite sides of each other. And, like, I think Barrett keeps bringing up Marlene and shit like that. And, like, it's just, like, this whole weird situation for sure.
That's great.
The only person that actually goes in for it is your girl Yuffie. She goes in for the kiss on Cloud. And Cloud's like, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, I thought that this is what this was. She's the only one that tries to seal the deal.
And Cloud's response is, what are you doing?
Yeah,
jeez, Cloud.
They definitely tried to do the whole hopeless guy from the anime shit with Cloud. That's for sure.
Oh, boy.
That he just can't understand anything that's being done. It's great. I love him. Oh, Cloud. Oh, man. So, yes, like I said, unfortunately, Kate Sith was our spy. He's been given information to Shinra this entire time. That's how they knew where we were going. That's how they were able to beat us to where we're going. And the fact that he was just kind of like, hey, we're going to the Temple of the Ancients tomorrow, and you're just going to have to deal with it. You're going to deal with the fact Shinra's going there first. And then we'll go there. So, kind of has them by the balls at this point. But moving into the next episode, we will be officially hitting the ground a lot harder on getting a lot of the story knocked out. We've had a couple short episodes here, but that's because I really wanted to drive home, getting to, one, the end of introducing people onto the team, and then two, kind of getting a spot where Kelsey feels about the game, and then the date scene deserved its own episode, in my opinion. So, plus we got the shocking twist at the end too, which was definitely a big oh shit. So
yeah, I was surprised and upset.
Yep.
I am still surprised and upset.
Yeah, and that's fair. That's fair. So now that we've gotten to this point, we're getting close to wrapping up here. But before we go, we're gonna take a second. I know a lot of people have kind of been waiting to hear thoughts about this, people that I talk with in person and stuff like that. Kelsey has listened to every single character theme before every episode. So basically the way I've been doing it is I introduce her to the character, I give her the backstory in the episode, and then before we do the next episode, she listens to the previous character's episode theme. So she just got through listening to Yuffie today, since Yuffie was yesterday. Overall, who's your favorite theme so far?
Hard to say because they are all so different, and I think they intentionally tell different stories, which is really nice.
Really nice.
Aerith's is absolutely beautiful. It's so lovely. Yuffie's is actually a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be.
I think it really plays on her child spirit a lot.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good way to describe it, because I think of her, I'm like, oh yeah, she's a badass that is kind of a little bit unpredictable, actually. And just it was so bubbly. I was like, all right, cool.
She's still a kid too. A lot of people forget that. She's still a kid.
Yes, that's fair. Cosmo
16.
Canyon, and specifically Nana Keys, is really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Vincent's did not... Everything about Vincent bothers me, but that song did not bother me that much.
Oh,
Clouds
man.
was
Poor
very
Vincent.
good. There isn't one of them that I think is
bad.
bad. All of them tell very different stories, and I enjoy that. Given we're talking, it sounds like 8-bit music. Like, this is not complicated music that they're dealing with, but they're doing a really good job with it.
So yeah, I think they did a really good job of fitting every single theme to that character too.
Yeah.
When you look at the character and then you just listen to the music, it definitely fits that character. Yeah, they did a really good job. The music composer, like I said, that was one of the biggest things that the fans absolutely demanded, and that was, if you're going to do the remake, you have to have the same composer. So, which we did. So that's great.
Which I'm glad they pushed on that. Like, that's one of those things that you can easily screw up. I can think of a great example being the Pirates of the Caribbean. The first composer there was incredible. The composers that came after were not as incredible, and they just kind of ripped on his themes as best they could, but it wasn't as good. And I would hate to see somebody else try to put life to these characters the way that he did, because he did such a good job.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And the music tells their own story and everything. It's pretty fucking impressive, honestly. It really is.
Yeah.
So those of you at home who are excited for what's to come, the ones who have played the game, and for the ones who haven't, our next episode we will be diving into the Temple of Ancients. We are about to get heavy into some story. Extremely heavy into some story. We have the Temple of the Ancients, Bone Village, the Sleeping Forest, the City of the Ancients, and that is the end of Disc 1. And in realistic, the Ancient Village, Bone Village, or the Ancient Temple of Ancients, Bone Village, and Sleeping Forest are all probably going to be in one episode, because we're not in Bone Village and we're not in the Sleeping Forest for that long. But the City of the Ancients for sure will be its own episode, and that is the end of Disc 1. We'll finally be moving into Disc 2, where the hunt for Sephiroth is hardcore on, and all kinds of shit happens and goes crazy, and we will actually start getting a lot of closure to a lot of these characters that we don't understand what their overall motives are. We will understand Cloud's backstory. We will understand Vincent's backstory. We will understand a lot of different shit coming into this. But yeah, I'm so happy to get through Cloud's story, so you can understand why he is truly my favorite video game character of all time. So we're getting there.
You care about characters so much. There's no way you landed on that lightly. He's got to be really cool.
He's a badass. Cloud is the beast. And whenever we do get to his, because that was one of the things that you did say whenever you were listening to it, and obviously we didn't do that on camera, so guys, you don't know what she said, but she was very interested on how Cloud's theme would be like this bright, shiny, and then go into kind of this mysterious, like almost devious type music, and then back to the whole bright and shiny hope type deal. And that will be revealed as we dive deeper into the story of Final Fantasy VII. That's going to do it for this episode. Kelsey, take us out.
All right, friends. Thank you guys for joining us for this episode of Final Fantasy VII Sesmster. Again, we always want to talk to you, so please jump in the comments, give us any thoughts that you have. If what you actually think about the music, I'd love to know. Do you have a favorite theme, or is there a theme that shows up somewhere that you don't really hear very much, but it's just in your one favorite area that you want us to check out? Please let us know. I'm sure Chris will go, yes, I've already heard this. It's my ringtone. But I'll check it out, and I'll like it.
If they go ask for fanfare, don't worry. We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there?
The fanfare one is the number one fucking theme song that everybody loves, and that's you've actually heard it before. That was the one I was doing for the Midgard News. The da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Yeah, it's the victory noise every time you win a battle.
Heard that a lot.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
We're always happy to interact with you in the comments, or you can always come follow us on Twitter or join us on Twitch. We'd love to talk to you there as well. Most importantly, if you like this content, please, please, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and turn on the notifications so we can tell you when to come to class. No matter what, we will see you in the next class, and we will talk to you later. Bye, friends.